Hello and welcome back to my show. Can this game hook me in 10 or 15 minutes? And I haven't done this in a while, but we're gonna do this with the indie game Volt Age Genesis. It's an RPG, and I have not played it before, but I did interact briefly with the developer of this game, and I thought I would try it out and see how it is. So let's try it out. Volt Age Genesis on Steam. Let's give Volt Age Genesis 15 minutes. 15 minutes to see if it can hook me. I know this format is unfair. Most RPGs need more time than that to develop and grow into your mind. I'm going to see what 15 minutes does. And let's see what happens. I've heard people describe this game as similar to Final Fantasy. But I don't know. I have not played it. Alright, the text is going a little fast. I don't think I can read that in time. The overhead graphics look like old school Final Fantasy, sort of. How come the roads are only partially built? Who's in charge of the transportation here? Here we go. 21 years later, it is just days before the signing of the Reclamation Act, a bill which guarantees land ownership to anybody willing to finish the work begun 2 decades earlier. Okay. For background on me, my first JRPG was Final Fantasy VI, back when it was called Final Fantasy III. If you've ever watched my streams, I've told this story a million times. I had Final Fantasy III, and then I went on to Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, and 9, and 10. I never finished 8, I didn't understand the junction system, but I did finish Final Fantasy III, which we now know is 6. I finished Final Fantasy VII, I finished Final Fantasy IX, and Chrono Trigger. It's those types of Squaresoft games that I grew up with. I also played Super Mario RPG, which is another Squaresoft game made for Nintendo. And these days, I still mostly play Square Enix RPGs, if I play anything. Or I go back and play their own games. I have not played the modern Final Fantasies like Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 15, 16. I have not played them, so I'm a bit old school still. Alright, what's going on here? Yeah, the graphics kind of look like Final Fantasy. Not exactly like Final Fantasy, but you know, it's the same perspective. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Just a pile of old trash. Weak battery, okay. What's in here? It's locked up tight. Can we run? There's a run button in Final Fantasy VII. I remember. I don't think there's one here. Alright, there's a vehicle here. There's a message blinking on the panel by the door. Entry has been sealed. Contact Master Control for information. Through the parking garage? Okay. Yeah, I still don't know what's going on with the storyline, even though I read that intro. Alright, we got some cars here. Again, this format is terribly unfair. You really need more than 15 minutes to decide whether or not an RPG is for you, especially a longer RPG. I think this is a long RPG, I don't know for sure. But that's what the gimmick of this format is. Can it hook me in 15 minutes? Oh, someone died here? There's a toilet here. There's blood up there, too. This game's scary. There's probably gonna be a monster that's gonna come out of nowhere. Do we go downstairs? Turn the lights on. Probably a monster here. It's a little slow to get going. I don't know, I'm probably nitpicking, but the game is a little slow to get going. Where are the lights? Computing power. Seems like a lot of computing power. Okay, this is the computer. I don't know what I did. System reset. Okay, the lights are on. Okay. I don't know. You know what? One of the great things about the intro to Final Fantasy VII is that, you know, you come off the train and you're thrown into all these battles from the beginning. So in Final Fantasy VII, you're basically thrown into the action right from the start. And it kind of hooks you in that sense. And you're also wondering about the main character in Final Fantasy VII. And, yeah, there's a bunch of things that hook you early on. Although maybe it's not fair to compare games to such a high standard. That's an incredible game. Or maybe it is fair. They're both RPGs. This is an RPG. I mean, why wouldn't you compare it to the standard of Final Fantasy VII? Investigate. Run Genesis attempt. I don't know what that means. Genesis attempt failed. Okay. Insufficient power. Someone is down here messing around. I told you I believe you, Vance. I'm coming with you, aren't I? Who are these people? There's a difference between believing someone and wanting to prove them wrong. I don't know who you are. It looks like Vance was right. There were a couple of rats scurrying around. Are we the rats? It doesn't matter who we are, it's the end of the line for you. Are we gonna fight? I would like to fight. Oh, that fire graphic was kinda neat, actually. I kinda like that, yeah. I don't know what happened here, but that fire graphic was neat. Who's this? Are we unconscious? I'll get it. Can I help you? Okay. Artifacts and knowledge from the past. Yeah, the game moves kind of slow early on. You know what made the intro to Chrono Trigger interesting? You're thrown into this festival. And, you know, you're just browsing around the festival and you run into that girl, you bump into her, and you're wondering, who is this girl? Where did she come from? What is this necklace on the girl? And there's just stuff about the time machine. Chrono's friend Luca built a time machine, and you're wondering, oh, okay, is this time machine safe? And then the girl gets thrown into the time machine, and it's all very interesting. I'm sorry if I spoiled the intro to Chrono Trigger, but it's all very interesting, and it hooks you in immediately once you run into the girl, and you start to wonder about the necklace and the time machine, and she gets lost in time. It's very easy to get hooked into Chrono Trigger right from the start. And I'm not saying this is not a good game, I'm saying it takes a while to get going. It's a little slow to get going compared to a game like Final Fantasy VII and Chrono Trigger. I'm sorry, but these aren't the kind of books I'm looking for. Okay. We were actually planning to clear out another house today. What does that mean? We're gonna raid a house? I'm Nolan, and this is Bridget. Hello. I like the character drawings. Nolan and Bridget gathered their things and prepared to head out with Alan. Pendragon Springs. Okay, ready to go? Absolutely. Follow whose lead? Where are we going? North end of town. It's the last house on the left. Okay. North end of town. When we open the door, the creatures inside will probably attack immediately. Oh, we're fighting! We're fighting! Alright, the simplest way to defeat foes is to attack them. Okay. Oh, that's it? That's it? Look out, another one! Oh no! Okay, now it looks like Final Fantasy, sort of, except that that first battle was a little too quick. Many enemies will resist certain damage types. Experiment to determine what types of damage are the most effective. I feel like I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching them battle. It would be a little better if it let me choose the options, but I don't know. Are there more enemies? Wait, do you hear that? Okay, I guess there are. A death wasp. Again, I'm not doing anything, it's just attacking for me. I don't know, is that how the battles work? We just watch them. Alright, well that was invigorating. Shall we head in? They searched the house carefully and found several books Alan wanted. Well, that wasn't too bad, thanks to Alan's help. Traveling east to the ruins of Estancia, or perhaps heading to Tocamalo. No, I've said that wrong. Tocamlo. I probably said that wrong too. In the south. I wouldn't do that if I were you. If you go much further east, you'll pass the far limits of where the Reclamation Army went. The monsters are way stronger out there. Well, I want to fight the monsters. And if you go south, you'll end up in the Steel Legion's territory. I just want to fight something. I had no idea that the Steel Legion had taken such an interest in the Deadlands. And to think if I hadn't stopped here before pushing to the east. It's been 13 minutes already. Yeah, it moves kind of slow. I feel bad because I do know who the developer is, and they're part of the community that I regularly hang out in. It just moves kind of slow. I use the examples of Final Fantasy VII, how you're thrown into the battles after you hop off the train. And in Chrono Trigger, you're in this fair, you bump into the girl, something about the necklace, and the girl gets lost in the time machine. And in this game, it's just the pacing. It doesn't grab me from the beginning. That's not to say it's not a good game. Again, this format is terribly unfair. 15 minutes to hook me. This is an RPG, you're supposed to give it more than 15 minutes. But anyways, let's try to pay attention for the last minute or so. Terribly sorry, I almost forgot. Here's your pay for the books we found. I do hope 500 volts per book will suffice. This is probably something I need to stream to really get the full understanding of. I need to do like a 2 or 3 hour stream and then really see if that hooks me. What I'm doing now is unfair. Alan gave me 2000 volts. If you find any more unusual text, please be sure to let me know. Okay. Alan has left the party. I still don't know where I'm going. Am I going east or am I going south? I probably don't have time to do either of them. We can head to New Panavito for supplies. While we're there, we can ask around if anyone wants to move out here. Meet me at the town entrance? Will do. As you journey across Maremma, you will meet many new allies. They will enter and leave your party based on your active quests and their affinity for you. While you are in Pedregal Springs, your allies will go about their business in town, but don't worry, all active members will meet you outside of town when it is time to leave. Okay, so I'm supposed to meet the girl at the entrance, but I don't think I have time for that. Is there a way to save? So I can save right here, it doesn't matter where you save? Alright. It's been about 16 minutes, so I don't want to go any farther because I know it's going to take me past the gimmick of this format, which is, can this game hook me in 15 minutes? I know it's unfair, it's an RPG, but I played RPGs where the action happens earlier or something really interesting happens earlier like in Final Fantasy VII, Chrono Trigger, games like that. This game is a little slow, but I feel like I'm not giving it a fair chance. And if I really gave it a chance, I think eventually over time, I would like it. Let's head west to New Panavento. Again, if I really wanted to give this a chance, I would probably put 2 or 3 hours into it and then decide if I want to quit. I think that 15 minutes is unfair. So can this game hook me in 15 minutes? No, but again, it's unfair to only give it 15 minutes. And I can tell there's a lot of thought put into this game. If you want to try an indie RPG on Steam, maybe think about Vault Age Genesis, but it does take a while to get going. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.